Coming up on Mountain News this morning, we take a look at what officials in Harlan County are doing to protect those who live there during the COVID-19 outbreak. And after some controversy over moving Kentucky's primary election to June, Attorney General Daniel Cameron weighed in on the matter. We'll tell you what he said. And we talked with officials at Cumberland Gap National Historical Park about their decision to close until further notice.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News This Morning.
Good morning, I'm Katie Cook. It is Tuesday, March 31st. Your time is about 6:33. Let's check in with Brandon Robinson for a look at your forecast this morning. Brandon, we saw a beautiful weekend and a pretty nice Monday, but today things are changing a little bit. Can you tell us what we can expect?
Absolutely, and a good morning to you and all the folks watching this morning. It was breezy yesterday. I had a red flag warning there for a little bit there due to those lower dew points, but today, no lower dew points. Rain. Let's take a look and see what's going on there. Lots of moisture in the air right now across the area. You'll see it back out toward Lake Cumberland, west of I-75, but it's moving this general direction, and it's going to hit all of us today at some point. UVA-Y still dry and quiet this morning. No major issues except for some clouds over that way. 45 in Wise, 45 also Logan, Moorhead, Irvin, and then you see 46 in Jackson and Hazard, a pair of 44s in Prestonsburg Pipe, a pair of 50s. Actually, a trio of 50s, Harlan, London, and Somerset this morning. 48 today will actually drop with the rain and stabilize right there in the upper 40s. Some folks may get back closer to 50, but again, it's going to be a struggle region-wide today for those temperatures, so make sure you take your jacket and your rain gear as you leave the house today if you have to. I'll have the rest of that forecast coming up in a little bit. Katie?
All right, Brandon, thank you. Yesterday, we learned the names of 2 people killed this past weekend in a Leslie County ATV crash. Investigators say Robin Peck and Nicholas Collender lost control of their side-by-side on Wolf Creek Road. Both were from Harlan County. The coroner told us neither were wearing helmets. And people in Pike County had to find a new way to honor their loved one yesterday since restrictions made it unsafe for them to be a part of her funeral. The Virgie community filled the roadway holding pink and white balloons, saying their final farewells to Samantha Muncie. Muncie died Thursday after a long battle with cancer, and the community says the love she showed them was something they knew they had to repay in some way.
We are a community here, and if we did not have the regulations, restrictions going on because of the coronavirus at this time, there wouldn't be a church in this area that could fit everybody that would want to come and show their respect for Samantha.
Little says the balloon release was an idea that Samantha's children had, and he just wanted to help make it a reality. Cumberland Gap closed yesterday due to rising concerns surrounding COVID-19. The park decided to close for the safety of staff, visitors, and volunteers. WYMT's Dakota Makris talked with the park ranger yesterday and has more.
It is a beautiful day here at Cumberland Gap National Park. I've seen people walking their dogs or just enjoying a nice walk by themselves. But unfortunately for those nature lovers, the park closed at noon today. Cumberland Gap National Park put many precautions in place to help stop the spread of the coronavirus, but they felt like closing the park would be best for staff and visitors.
One of the rangers noted the other day that there was a family having a family reunion, 17 people crammed into that picnic shelter. So again, the closure that we've had to temporarily enact, and again, we want to stress temporarily, is to ensure the safety of employees, visitors, partners, and volunteers.
The park will be closed until further notice. Park officials hope it will reopen sooner rather than later. In Bell County, Dakota Makris, WYMT Mountain News.
Now the park will remain closed until further notice. until further notice. Governor Beshear was following the law when he moved this year's primary elections. That's the word from State Attorney General Daniel Cameron. An opinion from the Attorney General's office indicates that the Honest Elections Project asked for the Attorney General to weigh in. Attorney General Cameron says Governor Beshear moved the election within 35 days of the original date under a state of emergency, which is the law in Kentucky. Cameron also noted that this was done in consultation with the Kentucky Secretary of State. Cameron's opinion also says that as long as the governor follows other laws, he can change the time and place of elections. Kentucky's primary election is now set for June 23rd. Authorities in Powell County are cracking down to make sure people are social distancing. The city of Stanton says people have been hanging out in parking lots. Because of that, the parking lot at Whitaker Bank is now closed. Police say the lots are not a hangout spot. The department is asking businesses to put similar measures in place. Harlan County has not yet had a confirmed COVID-19 case, but that is not stopping county officials from enforcing restrictions and the governor's orders. The county is closing parks, dispatching road crews from their home, and is reducing services such as vehicle inspections that require additional contact. Harlan County Judge Executive Dan Mosley says people are finding things to do while following the rules.
You know, I saw things this weekend that I haven't seen in a long time. I saw, parents out with their kids riding bicycles. I saw parents with their kids out on the walking trails. I saw, kids in their yard throwing football with their dad.
Mosley says this is all to protect the community and those who are most vulnerable. Harlan County officials are still allowing people to use the walking trails at parks that are not fenced in. During this time of year, hotels are usually full with people traveling for spring break. But now hotels are left virtually empty as COVID-19 is stopping travel. So what can they do with their open rooms? Well, WYMT's Emily Bennett talked with a hotel owner in London about he wants to use his hotels to help during this pandemic.
In March, this hotel in London is usually nearly 75% full.
Right now we're running about a 10 to 20, just depending on what's going on.
But now owner Randy Singh is left trying to figure out ways to fill his empty rooms.
We are open. We're here to help. So at the end, this property can do more than just accommodate guests.
Wanting to help during this pandemic, so he and his wife started brainstorming ideas.
We drove around, we're like, man, Starbucks is closed now. Where are these workers that normally, spend their day at Starbucks needing Wi-Fi to have a place just to work?
Now they are offering special rates to employees who are forced to work from home.
Maybe you have to get some work done. You can't have noise outside, or you want to just have a space to be, hey, I just need to have a peace and quiet day so I can get my work done.
Also offering deals to healthcare workers who do not want to go home and put their families at risk.
We're here to make sure that these workers, the people that are making us safe, taking care of the people that are sick, that they have a place that they could afford as well.
Leaving the room rate up for negotiation.
There's no number onto it. Just let us know. We'd work something out for you for any kind of budget that you needed.
Wanting everyone to be able to afford a clean, safe space. In London, Emily Bennett, WYMT Mountain News.
Microtel is also alternating rooms, so when someone checks out, the room is not used again for 3 days.
Looking over downtown Pikeville this morning from the Pikeville Medical Center camera, not a whole lot of traffic. And we've mentioned a lot of folks not working right now, staying at home, being healthy at home like you should be. But again, it's just a situation where some folks, especially this camera on top of one of the biggest medical facilities in the region, healthcare workers have to go to work. Lots of essential people have to go to work. And again, it's just, we appreciate all those folks who are out there on the front lines helping get us get through this pandemic. So as we look downtown there, I believe, now I can only see it from a distance, I believe that's a redbud tree right there, which we're in redbud winter right now. And you'll notice that when we go to temperatures here in a second. But let's go to the satellite and radar first to kind of show you what we're looking at moisture-wise, and it's starting to move in here in those western counties. We zoom out, and there's a lot more of this to come as we go through the daytime hours today, so just kind of keep that in mind. Temperatures in the 40s and 50s this morning. Remember the days past earlier this week when we're in the 60s for morning temperatures? Yeah, not today and not tomorrow either. Temperatures a little warmer out to the west there. 49 Paducah, a pair of 51s at Owensboro and Bowling Green, and 52 in Nashville. Out the door forecast today, we are going to see those rain chances increase, and they could be heavy at times. Temperatures only go up to right around 48 later today, or at least stabilize right there right around 48 this afternoon. Katie?
Thank you, Brandon. Well, thank you for joining us on Mountain News this morning. Just ahead, Joe Diffie recently died after testing positive for COVID-19. We talked with one Knott County man about the impact Diffie had on many here in eastern Kentucky.